Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of If You Have to Pick Three, a podcast where we have to give three of our top choices on any given topic, and then after we share our nominations, we then have to come to an agreement on a final top three. I'm Zach Shaw.
I'm Matt Gamba. What's going on?
And this episode, we're doing something a little special in honor of Queen. Matt, you want to explain?
Yeah, so with the new Bohemian Rhapsody biopic of Queen coming out, we wanted to... Because obviously everybody knows Queen, everybody loves Queen, you know, everybody has their own favorite song, but what are the top three songs that we think came from Queen that are not Bohemian Rhapsody? Because that would be number one on everybody's list, at least almost everybody's list. This is the internet. I have to be a little bit correct on that.
I would actually make the argument, it's, you know, screw political correctness. Bohemian Rhapsody is probably one of the best songs ever.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's safe to say that, but it might not be somebody's number one song.
But regardless, it's still one of the best songs to come from Queen.
Period.
So we're just taking that song completely off the table.
Exactly.
And we're going to just name the top three Pink.
Pink?
Jeez. I don't even know where that came from.
Oh, man.
So that's going to be fun. How did Pink get a shout out in this episode?
Just raise your glass and move on. That's all you can do. So
who knew?
All right. So Zach, what? You're still dying, aren't you?
I'm still dying over here. Give me a minute.
All right. So while I give him a minute, I'm gonna go ahead and I will tell you my top three Queen songs in no particular order.
Go for it.
I putting these songs in order, I mean, it was hard enough to pick three, but to put them in order is going to be even crazier. So the first song is Stone Cold Crazy.
Ooh.
The second song is...
Well, hold on. Before you go into it, give a little explanation. Why that song?
Okay, well, I think I picked this one because it was something very, very different for Queen. If you listen to a lot of what Queen did, it's a lot of like Freddie vocal talent. Granted, this song does take vocal talent, but it's a lot of Freddie vocal talent. It's a lot of swag. It's a lot of piano parts. This song was originally coined thrash before thrash was a thing. So it's just off the charts great from Queen. And even Metallica covers this on Garage Inc. Metallica, arguably the biggest thrash band of all time, if you consider them thrash still.
Great cover, too.
Great cover. And you would never know, listening to that cover, that Queen originally did it. I know when I first heard it, I was like, this is a really good song. And I looked at the liner and I was like, Queen? Queen? Granted, I was about...
I was going to say...
Like, I was a younger man. I was like... I will say I was... Because I don't remember when that came out. Let's just say I was in my early teens when that came out.
Early teens.
So I didn't know all the greatness that was out there. But it was a shock that it was Queen. So that's the first song.
All right, second song.
The second song, Under Pressure.
So before I let you explain this, so then to clarify, you would call this a Queen song?
I would.
And not because I still find it fascinating how so many people, because I would agree it's a Queen song, but there's still so many people who are like, oh yeah, it's one of my favorite David Bowie songs, and then they act so surprised that Queen was even on it, and it's still kind of mind-boggling.
Right, it is. And first and foremost, the reason why I'm classifying it as a Queen song is because it's on a Queen album.
That's why I do.
Okay, so there's that. Secondly, it's vocal perfection.
Yeah, it is.
Freddie Mercury, David Bowie. It doesn't get much better than that. I don't think there's anything else that really needs to be said about the song.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. It's vocal perfection. But there is one other song that I feel is even better than this. And I know that I said there's not going to be a clear 3, 2, or 1, but this has been my favorite Queen song for forever. Forever. Because of the feeling, the emotion behind it. Recently learning a little bit more about the song and the story that goes behind it. This is The Show Must Go On. This song is absolutely amazing. And to think this song was recorded and done when Freddie was on his last legs. They weren't even sure, and this is the part that I didn't know. They weren't even sure if Freddie was going to be able to do the song because it took so much vocally to do it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the exact quote from Brian May, it says, Fred, I don't know if you're going to be, it's going to be possible to sing this. And he's like, this is Freddie. A direct quote from Freddie, according to Brian May. I'll fucking do it, darling.
Language.
Threw his vodka down, went in, and killed it. So, I mean, to know that this was recorded so late, I think this is in 90 or 91.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it was on Innuendo, so it was toward the end. But with his health failing, and the band was like, just you might not be able to. And he puts on that vocal performance on the album. It's incredible. And the first time that this was ever played live was April 20th in 92. During the Freddie Mercury tribute concert after he passed away.
I was about to say, because I didn't realize that they even got a chance to perform it.
No, they didn't.
Freddie. Yeah.
With the 3 remaining members of Queen, with Elton John on vocals, and Tony Iommi playing rhythm guitar.
Wow.
Absolutely insane.
It's a great swan song.
If this was the song to go out on, this was a great song to go out on. All right. After hearing all that,
I still stand by. I mean, great arguments. I stand by mine.
Okay.
First one I went with, "Death on Two Legs," dedicated to the opening track off of A Night at the Opera. It's essentially Freddie Mercury's hate letter, or "F you," to Queen's original manager Norman Sheffield. And to me, it's one of those. It has everything. It has everything you want from Queen. It's got just the operatic harmonies. It's got killer groove. It's got Brian May's guitar tone, Freddie's wit, his amazing voice. So it's like one of those, like, if someone never heard Queen and they wanted to know what they were in a nutshell, that's the song, in my opinion, even more so than some of the bigger hits, that really just captures what they are in essence. Second song, "Don't Stop Me Now." And I realize that it's really more of a piano-driven song, and apparently Brian May actually doesn't like it, which makes sense because he literally only plays a guitar solo on it. But I think it's just a great upbeat song that you just, every time you hear it, you can't help but just bob along to it, sing along to it. It's just an amazing Freddie Mercury performance, and just highlights how great of a singer he was, how witty he was again. And I mean, if it's good enough for Shaun of the Dead to use while killing zombies in a scene. If you've never seen the movie Shaun of the Dead, you got to see it. But that particular scene is just hysterical. And it was even actually named or voted the greatest driving song by the viewers of BBC's Top Gear. So I guess in 2005, the show Top Gear had a contest where fans voted.
Yeah, I remember
what was
that, actually.
Yeah, what was the best driving song? And it beat out songs like Highway Star by Deep Purple, Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. I think Golden Year was in the top 5. Don't quote me on that. But for a song that literally is a piano rock song, it revs you up.
It's
so
very
much.
Interesting. And I'm vividly remembering now the episode of Top Gear, because I love cars. I love the BBC Top Gear when it was the BBC Top Gear, not what it is now. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, it's so interesting to hear and if anybody in England is listening to this, it is very interesting to see your perspective on a great driving song versus our, in America, perspective of a great driving song. Like, easily, probably like the top 2 or top 3, like Sammy Hagar's "I Can't Drive 55" would definitely be up there. AC/DC, "Highway to Hell," songs like that. But then to hear that song be number 1, I remember now very vividly be like, really?
But to me, I think it makes sense. It's because, again, it lacks guitar, but you can't help but just feel like you're full of energy after hearing that song, which I think is also a testament to the power of Queen. You just can't help but not feel something when you're hearing that music.
Right.
So that's my second song. The final song, in no order, but final song. I actually really was trying not to pick this song, but I always came back to this one. We Are the Champions.
And I knew one of us was going to have to pick either this song.
Yeah, it's a little overplayed. But it really is the most incredible arena rock ballad. It's the most incredible sports anthem. It's one of those songs, even if you've never played a sport in your life, unless if you're a kid on a soccer minor league team, every time you hear it, you feel emotional. Like as if you had just, like, I always just feel like victorious as I'm listening to it. And every time you see, even when Green Day covered it live for the good chunk of their American Idiot tours, you can just feel the emotion that people have connected to that song and how it just brings them back to having overcome so many obstacles to be the champ. It's like, for a song that got adopted by jocks in a sense, it really is a great misfit anthem for the underdogs. So I kept trying to find another deep cut, but in the end, it would be a shame not to have at least brought that up because it is such an amazing song.
I keep going back to the Mighty Ducks.
But you know what? But is that a bad thing?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a bad thing at all. But would you also say that it's one of the most overplayed songs on the radio?
I don't know. You have to go check out that episode if you want to find out.
Yeah, we might have put it on there. Yeah. Who knows? But
I'm not going to tell you.
All right, now it is argument time.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Zach.
This one's tough.
So I'm going to throw it out there right now. Number one, just because it is, like we just talked about, the swan song for Freddie Mercury. That has to make the list. The show must go on.
If you were to have like a veto chip and you'd use, like, you get to automatically have one song in the top 3, would that be the song you use it for?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That
show must go on.
It has to be on there. I mean, once again, just the history behind the song, and it's somebody who's, forget Freddie Mercury for a second, just anybody dying of cancer or dying of AIDS or HIV, how tough it is to do anything, let alone put on one of the most powerful vocal performances of your entire life. Whether it's in a controlled environment or not, that is still difficult.
No, I'll give you that one.
Okay.
I'll give you that one. Show must go on.
And one of, and I can't even believe that I remember this, that one of the first times that I ever heard it outside of Queen performing it was on Moulin Rouge, that terrible movie.
No, hold on. I already gave you this one. Don't make me regret it.
No, but you can't.
Don't make me
bastardize
regret
his
it.
performance
Do
for that
not
movie.
make me regret giving you The Show Must Go On. I'm warning you now. Don't bring up Moulin Rouge. I'm warning you now.
But it's by your bedside. I kind of figured you'd like it.
What do you mean it's by my bedside?
I know it's underneath where you keep all of your secret little movies.
No, it's the soundtrack. That's
Same
fine.
thing.
No, it's fine. I can have that by my bed. The DVD is not nowhere near it.
All right, what's next?
This is tough because I'm also, because like you said that's the song that if you had the veto power you'd choose that one. I'm looking at my list and I'm trying to figure out what song of mine I would give it to. So backtrack a little bit. Mm-hmm. This pains me to say this. Could we agree to not include Under Pressure?
Okay, what are your reasons for that? Simply
because even though I agree that it is a Queen song, it's also a David Bowie performance.
Okay.
And I would almost make the argument that this list should be of pure Queen songs.
Pure Queen songs.
Which sounds really terrible the way I said that. I want to veto that. Say, it sounds so like scientific. Like only the pure Queen songs may answer this. No. Like I almost want it to be like purely like a pure. Why do I keep saying the word pure?
You want it just to be songs vocally performed by the band Queen, or
Yes.
just performed by the band Queen, not even
Yes.
vocally, but
Yes.
okay.
That's my only reasoning, and also because I feel like the remaining songs are really hard to pick out of.
Okay.
And if we have to be nitpicky, because if I wasn't trying to be nitpicky, I would agree that because that's a great song.
Okay. And I'll agree that we can remove it underneath that premise. However, before we release this one, I will say that if you have never gone on YouTube and you've never seen somebody isolated both Freddie Mercury and David Bowie's vocals, you need to go
incredible.
listen to just the a cappella performance alone on this.
Yeah.
Enough said.
It's,
So,
and it actually pains me even to have made that suggestion because it is a great song.
all right.
So
Next. Let's talk about let's get to the elephant in the room here.
okay.
We are the champions.
You know what? Hold on. Pause for a second.
Okay.
I know what song I want to use my veto for.
Go ahead. Which song?
Death on Two Legs.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think that song captures everyone's performances perfectly. Brian May's guitar work, Freddie Mercury's vocals, the harmonies, even the drumming and bass. To me, because going back, that really is, to me, the song that I would play someone who's never heard Queen, just so they got an understanding of what Queen was about. With the operatics, with the piano, with the rock, with the bang, and I feel like Andrew Dice Clay there for a second. I'm going to use my... Would you allow me to use my veto for that?
I didn't know we were introducing veto cards. Okay.
We're not. We're not. The
right.
theory.
I got you.
Would you give me Death on Two Legs?
Would I give you Death on Two Legs? Well,
tearing me apart.
There's one part of me that's saying I'll give it to you, but to make the statement that you would show somebody this song, and granted, it's not on the list because it's one of the greatest songs of all time. You would play this over Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yes, but as soon as this song ended, I would then have them immediately listen to Bohemian Rhapsody. I also wouldn't play Bohemian Rhapsody because there's also a good chance that that person who's never listened to the song, as soon as they turn on the radio, will hear Bohemian Rhapsody.
Was that on one of the most overplayed songs on the radio of all time?
Tune in to find out.
But
Since when did we start deciding to promote our own show within our show?
We heard that you like podcasts, so we put another podcast in the podcast.
Yeah. Who's paying us for that? Not
Apparently
me.
us.
Oh, I hope not. I want my money back.
All right, fine. I'll give you Death on Two Legs.
All right.
All right. So now I have one song left and you've got two.
Stone Cold Crazy is a great song.
Stone Cold Crazy is an amazing song. It's short, it's sweet, and it's not what you would expect out of Queen. That's why I think it makes it so great.
Before we continue with Stone Cold Crazy, I'll take Don't Stop Me Now off the table. I said my piece about how I think it's a great song. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with taking that off the table.
Okay.
So now it's down to two songs.
One apiece.
One apiece.
All right. So we have one of Queen's biggest anthems of all time versus one of the most unexpected Queen songs of all time. At least in my opinion.
This is tough. Well...
I know. This is a conundrum. That's why I wanted to address the elephant in the room.
Well, let's address it then.
What makes you love that song so much? I mean, granted, what can you say about that song that hasn't been said already? I mean, it's one of the biggest... Right. Live in Montreal just has that, and it says it all. I mean, I think it was also in the Live Aid performance...
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I was actually just about to say that, too. Just when you picture the entire crowd eating out of the palm of Freddie's hand during that Live Aid performance, especially, during that song, and kind of going, the show must go on, the emotion behind it, So that song I think just does an amazing job at crossing all like Stone Cold Crazy, great rock song. But We Are the Champions is a song that everyone not only knows, but can find some sort of bond to. Whether you're a jock who just won the big game, whether you're an antisocial kid who kind of feels alone and needs just a song to kind of get him out of a funk. To remind them, hey, you are okay. You are human. You are a champion. Like, something like, it's something that everyone can relate to. I'm getting emotional even just thinking about, like, the song. Like, especially, like, after, like, I think it's the second verse when he goes back into We Are the Champ, like, and it really is, like, an emotional song. And musically, it's great, too. Like, it's the guitar tones, it's just a great song.
I mean, I thought I was going to have a little bit more room to play around with Stone Cold Crazy, but
I mean, you can keep going. If you
I can shit, man, I could try, but it's one of those Queen songs that to me it expresses how creative the band was. Yes, you could say that about anything that Queen did because they were just so creative, but to do something that far out of their realm really shows their talent as artists. Mm-hmm. But then to create an anthem like We Are the Champions, like, why of all songs, why'd you pick that? I was trying not to pick that one because I almost feel like you can make the argument that this episode could have been called Best Queen Songs That Aren't Bohemian Rhapsody and We Are the Champions. Yes.
But I feel like you kind of like, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's a creative hard rock song, but We Are the Champions is an anthem that goes beyond rock, I would even argue.
Fine. Just because I'm struggling for arguments against that song. Like, I could have argued against a lot of other songs, but I can't against that one.
Hold on. So can we? We're both agreeing. We Are the Champions is in there,
and that's it. We have our three.
I was about to do a very selfless move.
No, don't do it. You fought for it already.
All right. Fine.
No, don't be selfless.
We'll keep it in. We'll keep in my pick.
Keep the safe picks in.
So then to recap, we got The Show Must Go On.
Yes.
Beautiful swan song.
Yes.
Death on Two Legs, a great hard rock song with some operatic elements to it. And then We Are the Champions.
Yes. I can't believe you picked that song.
Yeah, I'm not proud of myself.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not, though. I was really trying to find like some sort of like deep track, and I was even considering maybe even doing another one, Bites the Dust, because that's a fun song that really also shows the band going a little creative and doing something that's completely outside the box.
I wish you would have picked that one, because then I could have definitely fought for Stone Cold Crazy.
I'm glad I didn't, because I don't know if I could have really fought that hard for it. Actually, well, sorry. Fun fact about, I know neither of us picked the song, but another one, Bites the Dust. Apparently, Michael Jackson loved that song and was trying to get the band to take that more of it as a serious single. Mm-hmm. So fun fact, if it's good for the King of Pop, it's good for everyone. But we digress. We got Death on Two Legs, The Show Must Go On, and We Are the Champions. Those are the three best Queen songs that are not Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes.
That was tough.
It was, because there are so many good ones that we didn't even talk about. I know a lot of people who, especially those who love bass, love like Dragon Attack.
Yeah, that's a great song.
That's another good one too. I mean, there's so many other really great Queen songs that, narrowing it down to this, and even when we started to discuss this, we had to say to each other, we cannot include Bohemian Rhapsody. We cannot. There's just no way. Yeah. Because then it's picking two other songs. And if we didn't put in Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm sure somebody down in the comments somewhere is going to be like, why didn't you have Bohemian Rhapsody? And I'm sure we're still going to get that.
For those who are still going to comment, look at the title of the episode.
Yes.
But
hashtag
again,
do research.
But we digress. That was If You Have to Pick 3. I'm Zach Shaw.
I'm Matt Gamba.
And if you really like this episode, let us know on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow Epic Footnote Productions. Let us know what you think and keep up to date on what other episodes are coming. Thanks for joining.
Take it easy, guys.